Good evening everyone, and I hope you've had a fabulous day. Here at Meslin Crafts we're going to be making one of these fabulous wreaths. Isn't it gorgeous? This one's done in shades of pinks and purples and white with this lovely crofter's cedar yarn wrapped around it. But what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to put together one using a completely different colour tone. What I've done already is pre-wrapped the wreath. I just need to finish the end off. In a previous tutorial you saw me make these lovely little roses. Well, I'm just going to finish a couple of these off as well tonight. And I'm going to show you a couple of different flower techniques as well. So first thing I'm going to do is I've got my trusty glue pen again, and I'm just finishing off wrapping the wreath. Now I'll sort of make quiet, so I'm just trying to alter my video so you can see it a little bit clearer. So all I'm doing is just wrapping the wall round just to finish the end of the wreath, making sure I've got really good coverage. What I've used on this wreath is a Donegal tweed yarn. So it's just I think it's a standard double knit, just sort of the normal ply that you'd use for knitting with. It's great because this is has a base colour of grey with then these beautiful flecks of black and rich creams and beautiful tan colours all the way through. Now I'm just going to seal it over like that so it doesn't fall apart. Drop a little bit more glue on there. Okay, that should be nice and sealed. So with that done, we get to start the fun bit, which is the flowers. Now, in a previous tutorial, I think it might have been my first tutorial that we did for Meslin Crafts, I showed you how to make these fabulous little rolled roses. So I've already cut some of them out and rolled them. Just going to finish putting these ones together. So all I've done is just rolled it round, and I'm just sealing the bottom. I apologise that the light isn't very good tonight. I've made this video a little later than I normally would, so it's dark outside and I can't quite get my lighting right for some bizarre reason. So that's my little roses put together. I might not use all of them, but I've made sure I've got plenty. The next type of flower, and I can't remember whether I did a tutorial when I did the rolled roses before, whether I showed you how to do these. And basically what you do, I'm just going to show you with this offcut, is you get a piece. Obviously you can make them a lot longer, and the longer you make the rectangle of felt, the longer your flower's going to be, and the bigger the flower obviously. And all you do is basically cut it in a rectangle, and depending on how deep you want the flower petals, depends on how wide you cut it, because you just simply fold it over and glue it in place like that. So you end up with this sort of tube. Once you've got the tube, obviously this one is 30 centimetres long. This one is just 15. Look at that gorgeous colour, isn't it? Beautiful tan colour. And then they're just literally snipped into with the scissors, making sure you don't cut through the edge that you've joined together, and you end up with these fabulous sort of shapes. And then these are just simply rolled round to make the flowers, and they make a fabulous sort of daisy type flower. Now obviously when I use a colour like this one, what I think of is sunflowers, and I have done some of these of sunflowers. They're actually, my sunflower ones were my stock boxes ready for Gordon Castle Highland Games this weekend. So if you're in the Highlands of Scotland, please pop along to Gordon Castle. The dates are 20th and 21st, so it's all weekend. So that's going to be the centre of my flower. And I'm just going to get the longer one and put a little bit of hot glue. And this one then rolls up to make the centre of the flower. These daisies are absolutely fantastic because what you can do is turn them into brooches. Whereas I did 3 of the smaller little rolled roses for a brooch previously, these ones make a stunning single flower. Let me just finish with gluing that together and turn it around for you. You can see it just opens up into this fabulous daisy. It's just a brilliant colour. And the lovely thing about the yarn that I've used to wrap this one is that you get such a fantastic colour combination. So you get the creams, and you get the white, and you get the black coming through. And what I've done is I've just colour matched the felt to go with it. So I'm just going to do another one of these daisy flowers, and then I'm going to show you a really, really fabulous flower that I've cut slightly differently to give a totally different look. So this is the second daisy. The only thing I find using felt is that the bits get everywhere. If you could actually see my black top, you will see I look like I've got a cat. Covered. Absolutely covered. Just want to take this opportunity while you're watching me roll a flower to thank you, the lovely Michelle from Nails to Die For. You can find her on Facebook. She's based in Aviemore and she does my nails for me. Aren't they just fabulous? I don't know whether it'll pick them. There you go. She always does them beautifully and sparkly for me. So just a little of a plug for her. She's a fantastic lady. Runs a marvellous little salon. Does a fantastic job. You wouldn't know that that one was almost broken off yesterday, but she's fixed it. She's marvellous. So just a little bit of a plug for her. Right. So what I've done with these ones is rolled it, cut it 2 inches wide and 12 inches long. I'm sorry, I do still work in inches, I do apologise. So that's 15 centimetres wide and, oh no, maybe not 15 actually. No, wouldn't be 15, it'd be about 5-6 centimetres wide, 30 centimetres long. Yeah, that's right. But instead of snipping it just straight down, I snipped it at an angle. And you will see when this is rolled together with the white centre, it has a completely different look. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stagger the roll on this one. So I'm going to get halfway down the roll. And look, you see how you get this sort of pointy look? It looks fabulous. It's very lily-like. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some glue along here. Let's stick this whole piece on, and what it will start to do is the grey will start to roll in at the same time as the white. So you get just a little bit of the white coming through before the final ripple of the grey. See what I mean? A completely different look to the flower. And the great thing, because I use a wool acrylic mix, it's very forgiving. So if you find you've squashed it or you've twisted it slightly or it's not quite sitting where you want it to sit, it will, you can work it. It's not overly fragile like some pure wool felts are. So there's all my flowers. Okay, I've pre-cut some leaves with the same little notching as before. At the top, I'm just going to use that to shape the leaves up. I've cut these bigger than I would if I was making the brooch, because obviously it's got to show up a lot more on the wreath, so I've made them slightly bigger. So that's one pair of leaves. Hope you've all been enjoying the sunshine. It's just started raining here in the Highlands, so fingers crossed it'll rain overnight and we'll have a lovely day again tomorrow. Turn that back on because it had gone off. So yet again putting these flowers together to make the leaves. I said flowers, didn't I? No, leaves. So there we go. I've got my 2 little sets of leaves that are going to go at the end of the wreath. So now the fun bit, putting it together. As you can see, there it is, all pre-covered. And what I'm going to do is find the end where I've sealed it. Now you can sort of put your flowers over the top of it. The way I actually prefer to put it over there, I don't know why, but we'll do it this way. So I'm going to cover this with flowers. So you're not going to even see that join when it's finished. So just go put it there. Checking you can see what I'm doing. And then I tend to start with my bigger flowers, get those placed in, and then fill the gaps with the smaller ones. Okay, so I'm going to start with the biggest flower. I'm going to put loads of glue on that. And like I say, this premium wool acrylic mix felt is very forgiving. So you can press it down, and what I tend to do is press everything down really well and then plump the flowers back up when it's done. That's it. I'm going to put this one on next. See, yeah, I'm hiding that really unsightly lump of glue where I've sealed it. Press it down really nicely to get a good firm grip. The great thing is, because I'm using a wet glue in the form of the hot glue gun, it soaks into the wool, so it kind of attaches it really, really well. You could use a normal wet glue, but obviously it would take a lot longer to put together because you'd have to wait. It doesn't give you such an instant bond as the hot glue. So there are my 3 large flowers all in place. You see that? I'm just going to plump that one up now, because otherwise it'll annoy me if I don't. So there we go. And see how it doesn't really matter that you've got 2 flowers with the same outside colours together. It just works. On the screen, this wall's actually looking browner than it actually is in sort of real life. So don't suddenly think, oh, she's not matched them up very well. It's just purely the way it's put itself together. It's just the colours show it, how the colours show on the screen. So I'm now just coming in and popping in these smaller flowers. I usually end up using around 6 to 8 flowers. You could use more if you wanted to. Sometimes it just looks like it needs more, sometimes it looks like it needs less. It's just literally the way that it puts itself together. And then I'm going to put that on there. What you can do is, if you notice, I've not quite got my flower level, so I've ended up with a lower edge. I can go back in and trim this if I'm really careful. I'll use some smaller scissors. I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to trim this down. This is what I say about this felt being so forgiving. Look, just trims down beautifully. I'll put my leaves on this side. Slide that in there. Give it a good press. And then what I'm actually going to do here, I'm going to put this little white one in here, just sort of fill a gap. So see, in this one I've actually ended up using 7 flowers. I said between 6 and 8. This one's just lending itself to 7. And then I'm going to put my final bunch of leaves in here. go. Now obviously it won't be one of my wreaths or one of my felt roses without 6 more flat back pearls. Now I think I'm just going to go with the grey ones and a white one and creamy colour, and I need 4 of those, so I'm going with another grey. So you can see better your tones actually of the 3 pearls. So you've got the light grey, the dark grey, and the sort of ivory colour. And one more. That's blue. Don't want that one. Why can you never find the colour you want when you're in a rush? Nope. Ha! There it is, the little blighter. Oh, lost it. There we go, and got another grey. So, what I'm actually going to use for my glue this time is I've got new glue. New glue. Put it the right way. So I'm using the Nouveau glue for this one. Works very much the same as the detail glue from Tattered Lace. Just got a slightly narrower nib, so I can actually a bit more control. It's just as sticky and brilliant. So, like I say, it doesn't matter which you use. Just put a blob of glue in the centre of each of those little rolled roses. And with my trusty wax pencil, I'm going to pick up the colours. I'm going to go with a light grey in the centre of that one. I'm going to have the creamy colour in the middle of that one. And grey in that one. And the grey in the middle of that one. And there we go. Brilliant glue again, dries clear, so it doesn't matter if it looks like it's splodging around the outside. There you go, there's your beautiful wreath, all finished. Looking absolutely stunning. Well, thank you for joining me again. Don't forget, if you love this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. So keep watching. Thank you very much, and bye.